Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tree Tender, and I am here today to give you some more insights on the new Overwatch update, and that is Overwatch update 1.8. And the biggest feature in this new update has to be the server browser. Now if you click play, and then you will notice one thing first off is that you will notice that the custom game tile here on the right is gone. That has been moved to the arcade. Right here on the bottom right, you can see that it says create game here, and that is basically a custom game. This is how you create a custom game now. But this here is the server browser. This is where you will find all of the custom games that have been set to public. If you click here, you can immediately see all of the kind of different names that people have named the games. This is usually what I recommend people to do, is a short little description of what is game mode, what their custom game is supposed to be, right? This is probably not what you should call just like your name and on game. Like, I'm not going to call my game Tree Tender's game. I probably shouldn't do that. I should give like people a short little description of what the game is about, right? Like for instance, hide and seek, right? You want to play hide and seek on the map? Sure, you can do that, right? And you have like a filter option here. You can search for something. You can like filter like what maps do you want, what heroes do you want, like all that kind of good stuff, like ping, all of the stuff that you basically need to find the custom game for you, right? Now to create a custom game, this is where you're going to create a custom game that people can see. You can of course like select what kind of game you want. You want public, invite only, friends only, all kind of what, of course, that's pretty much the same as it used to be. But here, this is where it becomes special. These options right here. You can of course still add the AI if you want, the ones that you command, the difficulty, teams. You can invite people, and you can now also move people. You can it's how hold on, right, like that. Okay, just click. There we go. Okay, now boom. This is actually something that annoyed me about the previous custom game, is that you couldn't move people. But right here, this is the big one. This is the important one. This is also where you rename the game, by the way. But this is the important one. You have a choice between presets here, and this is basically the brawls that you know of. If you go to arcade, then you click on brawls. These things are basically the brawls here. It doesn't list all of them, sadly. I wish there was still a way to play like the Lucio brawl thing. I love that one. I think this is probably the best weekly brawl they had. But they currently only have these three ones, and then these game mode presets, if you want those. Like if you want to go mystery duel 1v1 with your friends, to see which one of you is the best, you can do this easily via this one standard setting. These are the presets if you want to just quickly make one. And then you have lobby options and such. How many max players you want, and all that kind of good stuff. The modes that you want, the maps that you want, including the new ones. I think no, it doesn't list new ones because there were going to be some variations on some existing maps, but it doesn't list them to here, I believe. Also heroes and some very specific options. Like this is where it really gets interesting. Like this is just a general hero setting. This is for everybody. You can set the timer, people's abilities. You used to have some of these options in custom game mode as well, but now it's much more in depth. I can actually like go 101% even. Like it's not a drop down menu even. You can just like type it in how much you want. It does have limits. And what the cooldown ability is. You can also set it to 0 if you have a suicide wish. This must be insane if you set this to 0, but hey. You can go batshit crazy with all of these settings, You can also go here specific, set certain abilities on or off. You can set people to sleep all over the time if you want it. You can go crazy with all of these settings, basically. And this is really interesting. This is going to change Overwatch a lot, I think. With this, in addition to the server browser where you can find people's games, you can really create some crazy shit. You just want to invite your friends over like a Lucio ways. If you want to practice McCree, just create a game where it's set to headshot only McCrees. with maybe like increased cooldowns on abilities, reduced respawn time, all the kind of stuff. You can go batshit crazy with all of this. And this is really, when Overwatch first released, this was my biggest problem with the game, that the game didn't have enough variety. You just had quick play and then maybe competitive play and then like one weekly brawl. If you had lucky, you'd be the one that you were interested in. If you were not lucky, it was one that you didn't like. Right. So that was a big problem that the game had on release. And then came along the arcade, which had a significant amount more variation. And now this together with the arcade completely removes the problem of having no variety in the game. So now you can just like press this button and you see which one you like the name of, and you can join and leave at will if you don't like what's going on there. And this also gives you a chance of making some good friends, I think, in Overwatch. Now this is not the only thing they've added in Overwatch in this update. With this update also comes along Season 4 of the competitive mode in Overwatch. And Season 4 is not very different, but there are a few smaller changes and one that I actually don't agree with, to be honest. But one of these changes, for example, is that the respawn times are going to be adjusted. Like now, if the attackers outnumber the defenders on a contested control point, the defenders will get an increasingly respawn timer. So the longer they try to keep on just like jumping on the point, if they are they have less players alive on their team, they will just gain like longer and longer respawn times. So the attackers so they can't just keep on delaying their attackers, basically. That's what I assume their goal with this is. Then there's like a weird little change where people at 500 skill rating or lower will now not see their skill rating. This is to try to prevent people from just like deliberately losing their matches all of the time. Which I don't know why people are doing that, but hey, if this helps, then that's a good thing, I guess. But there's one change that I don't agree with here, what they have done, and that is the rank decay, the new way that they were doing rank decay. They did have this before, and that the way that they did it before is, if you are above a certain skill rating, I believe that was 3000, you need to be active at least one time a week. Like if you have over a week of inactivity, you will lose skill rating. But so essentially you have to play at least one match a week. Now it's 7. If I've increased that number, you now need to play 7 matches a week. It doesn't matter when, but you need 7. And I have a big problem with this because I don't think everybody is in states to play that amount of matches. A lot of people are very busy, including me. I personally think I'd be able to reach that, but I don't think some other people will that are very busy. This only counts above 3000 skill rating though, but still, there are going to be some problems. Like, let's say like an average competitive match takes about 30 minutes. I think that's a pretty good estimate for a normal competitive match. 7 matches means you need at least 3.5 hours of free time every single week if you want to keep your skill rating. That's way too much time. They need to reduce this very much, so I very much disagree with this change. So that was competitive Season 4. In a nutshell, basically. Not much has changed, apart from that one big thing I disagree with. I hope they revert that change. But last but not least, there are some balance changes here and there. I do want to mention, I'm not going to go over all of them with the patch notes if you want to know all of it in detail. First big change is probably that Bastion can heal while moving and being attacked. Another change to Bastion is that his recon is better. He has slightly more accuracy and also larger clip size. Sentry has been rebalanced. So they try to make him, in a nutshell, more flexible. That's what they try to do in a nutshell. He's now better against shields in sentry mode, but he's more accurate in recon. So if you want like a long distance fire that you might just want to switch to recon, I think that's something. Something that also changed was the way that targeting abilities work. Well, it's not really changed, but you can now adjust the sensitivity of those abilities. Like abilities like Ana uses, her ultimate, and like Zenyatta's orbs. You can now change how sensitive those abilities are. So it's less likely, you can set it so that it's less likely as Ana to give you ultimate to the wrong target accidentally. There are more changes like that, but please, if you want to know those, just read the patch notes, if you will. I don't like to go over all of those like tiny little details in a video because I think it's a little bit boring, and I'll try to make my videos a little bit entertaining. Who knows, you might have stopped watching already. If you didn't, I thank you for watching. Enjoy the update, and take care, folks.